mess. Checking this connection right here. That was my first thought for why it's not working, but that's a tight connection. So I'm not sure why the AIS is going out, but it's blowing like 25, 30, and it's a bit rough out.
Last week I sailed from St. Martin to Puerto Rico. I was in St. Martin for a new mass and wanted to leave from there to Colombia, but due to weather I decided to sail to Puerto Rico instead. It was a pretty typical shakedown sail. Some things went really well and some things acted up, like my autopilot and AIS. Now that I have more downtime in a marina, I'll be spending my time troubleshooting and prepping for my next sail.
So nothing new, more delays with shipping things. The anchor chain's gonna be another 7 to 10 days. So, Mako, what are we gonna do? He's been holed up inside quite a bit. Show you one thing I did is I got my cushions redone. I just picked those up yesterday. Very excited about that. The old ones were just falling apart, and I wanted something to brighten it up a bit. You like the new cushions? You'll probably start scratching these, won't you? So, new cushions. This is all done, varnished. They took my table that needed a lot of work. It was really bad. I did the teak the other night. I think I really need to sand it soon. What do you think? And now I'm going to wax the cockpit area since the table's out, so I have a lot more working room. It's not that bad in here because it's protected by the sun, but it's just going to be a lot of detailing while I'm waiting. It's nice to rest, but then you also kind of, well, I feel like I don't get lazy, but it just becomes easy to procrastinate and live a lot more of a slower lifestyle and not go. And I'm not a fan of being in the marina besides the AC. You don't like being out during the day as much, do you? My AC is working great, but the water heater went out. I think it is the element. So I ordered that. That should be here in a few days, but until then I'm going to be taking cold showers. Since I'm at the dock, as you guys know, I get to use hot water and AC, and my hot water tank is not working. It stopped working the day I left St. Martin when I flew out for Christmas, and I don't really know what I thought. Thought it'd work when I came back, and it doesn't. So I ordered some elements. They're supposed to be here today, so I'm gonna try to take out the old element. It's really hard because this comes out so much, and it's hard to get anything here, so it's a bit of a challenge. I put Croatian X on it, so I'm hoping that helps a little bit. Mako's up there.
So I've been a little MIA. Last clip, I think you saw me working on the hot water heater and putting the old zinc in for the night, hoping to have a hot shower that night. Didn't happen. The new zinc or whatever, at some point it cross-threaded. I don't really know how because I took it out and put it back in, but couldn't get this one out yesterday, so Carson came over and we drilled holes and had to use a screwdriver to get it out. So it's leaking. So right now I have this cork in, it's gonna go out at any second. So I'm actually about to put a valve in the cold water right there so I can stop the water from going in the heater at any time. I've drove around the whole city looking for the tap-in drill to re-thread the hot water exit thing, and no one has 3/4, so I ordered it on Amazon. It won't be here till Tuesday, which is 6 days away. So I'm gonna put that valve in, that way I can use my water while I'm waiting. I'm gonna come right here. Other little update while I've been MIA is that Squid, my new cat. Before I finish this little clip, if you want more of this Squid story, it's all at the end. It's intertwined with this episode, but it's also not. More on Squid is at the end of the episode if you want to skip there to find the whole backstory, or if you just want to wait to find the whole backstory. If not, all the boat work's going to continue and you can keep watching through without the cat interruption. At the vet, his vaccines, he got really sick from the ivermectin shot. They thought he had ear mites, so they gave him ivermectin. I took him in around noon for his vaccines, and the next morning I woke up. He fell asleep on me, purring. He's like the sweetest little thing. He didn't like get up when I got up, which he's a stray, so I just thought maybe he's exhausted. But then after 10 minutes of being up, I thought it was kind of weird that he was still sleeping. So I went and checked on him and he kind of twitched, and I thought he may have been dreaming. But then I realized he just kept twitching, and then I saw drool. I tried to pick him up and he couldn't walk, he couldn't stand. His back legs just gave out on him. So I took him to the vet the second they opened, and they've had him for 30 hours, around 30 hours now. And I took Mako to go get the health certificate for Panama just today. And Squid is not moving. His heartbeat is good, but his temperature dropped to 85 degrees. We have a heating pad on him, but he's just not moving, not responding. So the vet still has him. I don't know if he'll pull through or not. I have a lot going on at the moment, even though it doesn't seem like it. So I'm just piddling around doing boat projects. I'm here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be, and a lot longer than the chain is taking forever to get in here. Until that gets here, I'm just going to be sitting around and making the boat look pretty.
Mako.
Your hand was out the window, rolling like the waves. We drifted through the summer thinking we would never change now. Crying in the rain. Yeah. Crying in the rain.
just taped everything and put tape over all the counters, like sticky tape, to get any last particles off. Now I'm going to go mix epoxy, and I think I'm going to start with this one just to get a feel for it, and then I'm going to do this one because this is the one everyone sees when you come onto the boat. So I want this one to be really nice. And then I'll do the fridge part, and then I have all of the like the fridge, I want to say doors, but they're not doors. You know what I mean. So all three of those are outside, hoping that will minimize the problem that I had last time. So that's cooler than it was the first time I ever did it, so hopefully this goes well.
I quickly realized I didn't buy enough of the epoxy coloring. After using the whole tube and it still not being enough, I grabbed my Total Boat bilge paint and decided to try that. I can now say that it may not be the preferred method, but it did work and dried like normal.
So it's been about 60 hours since I took Squid to the vet for his reaction to ivermectin. Where are you going? Come on, Squid. You're a mess. You don't need to eat more. Squid! Squid! Oh, you're drinking! They called me a couple hours, an hour ago, and said that he did not make it through the night. So I've pretty much, as you've seen, just been detailing the boat and working on her. And I spent a lot of time at the vet, and before I brought Squid to the boat, I was taking hours to go visit him every day. And so he's taken a lot of my time this past week, and I'm really happy he did. About Squid, I was taking a walk, I think it was a Wednesday. I took a little walk out of the marina. I saw this little trail that went right, and I thought, okay, maybe this is the trail to the beach, because there's a beach right outside the marina. It didn't go to the beach, but it had some rocks at the end, and it looked like some guys fished there. There's a chair on the side, and this little black cat ran up, started yelling, rubbing up against everything he could, yelling, and just had a personality. He wouldn't let me get close to him, but he was so cute. That night I was making steak, and so I saved the bone and some scraps for him, and the next morning I went over and fed him. He would take whole pieces and run down to his little home area with the whole pieces of food.
A big treat. Treat.
And he just was always so cute and sweet. He still wouldn't let me touch him. He would rub up against everything. He would look at you. He would follow you. The next morning I went and I just sat with him. I didn't have food.
Good morning. Good morning.
And he let me get close. He wanted to be around you, but he didn't want to be touched. He didn't understand what touch was. He didn't understand what people are. When I went for my run, I stopped to see him on my way for a run, and he followed me out of this little trail to the road the whole way, just prancing behind me. And at that point I kind of knew, like, if he'll let me, I'm gonna keep him and give him a life. Because his temperament was similar to Mako. He was playful, fun, sweet. And that night I had told Kendra, I said, if you have any food scraps, I have a cat I'm feeding. And so that night we took some of their chicken wings from the night before, and she went with me.
Hi, cutie. Hi. Want some food?
And I actually pet him that night, and he jumped a little bit, but then once I started petting him, he loved it. He stopped eating and just wanted me to pet him. And still process every first time I'd pet him, he would jump, but then he'd just lay into it. And again, he followed us to the road, and I don't know if it was later that night, Kendra and Carson went on a walk, and she sent me a video. We'd taken the bones in a plastic bag, and at some point I'd thrown the bag like a little ball to see if he'd chase it, because he was playing with the grass and stuff. I forgot to pick up the bag, and that night they walked by and he was walking around with the bag on his head. I just died laughing, and I knew, like, it just showed his personality so well. I fell in love with him even more watching him running around with the bag on his head. So the next morning I went to him and I took him cat food, and he loved it. He ate it. We just sat together.
Come on, let's go eat.
You wanna eat? Come on. Wanna come over here? Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on, right here. Over here, Bubba. Woo. Right here. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
He got burrs in his tail from those, and he doesn't even care if I try to pick them up.
The next morning, I'd visit him about once or twice a day for about an hour to two every time. And the next day, I took the backpack. That didn't take you long. Yeah. Ready for some food? Come on. Hi. Wanna come here? Pack and kind of set it there. And we just sat together, he ate, and eventually I was like, you know, I'm gonna put the food in the backpack. And he jumped in, and all of a sudden I just zipped it up and got up and walked away with it. And he didn't cry, he didn't scream. I called Kendra and I said, Kendra, this was Sunday morning, because she had just gotten groceries. I said, Kendra, I think I have a cat and I don't know how this is gonna go. Because he's a stray. His home is a 10-minute walk from the boat, so he can't just run home off the boat. I didn't know how Mako would respond. I didn't know if he would freak out once he got on the boat and then run and not know where to go. I didn't know if I should bring him in and then he freaks out and then Mako and him. I didn't know how it would go. I didn't know what to do. But I had to do something. So I brought him. I let Mako come see him in the carrier up front or upstairs. He didn't. Mako hissed for a second. The little one he didn't care. He just kind of sat there and observed.
Mako, be good.
I picked him up and he was still kind of weird with picking up. He didn't love to be picked up yet. And I put him on the stairs and he came down and went under the table, and that was kind of it. Mako watched him but didn't really care. And he just stayed under the table. I sat down with him on the couch and did some work. And I put him next to me and he just laid next to me, let me pet him. He was purring. And that night he was kind of more quiet. He didn't really know what to do. He would eat, but under the table was his safe space. He slept with me in the bed. He had gotten down at some point, and I found him asleep under the table in the morning. He was just a sweetheart, and that day, that is Monday, I took him to the vet, and because I knew, like, I didn't want Mako to get sick from him, and I wanted to make sure he was healthy. They gave him dewormer. He had hookworm, thought he had ear mites, so they gave him ivermectin. They gave him his rabies shot. They didn't have the right microchip that French Polynesia wants, so I didn't get his microchip. We were going to do his surgery for neutering later on that week or whatever. So we got home from the vet, took hours.
Cutie? You just now realizing you're on a boat? Is there a lot going on? You went in there? Come on. I'm coming.
He was so playful. That night that we had. The one night we had on the boat where he was playful was so special. There was nothing wrong with him at that point. He loved the little toy that Mako loves that has a bird and feathers on the end. He was running around, jumping at my feet. Like, he brought so much joy to the boat.
Mako. Mako, look. Squid.
And Mako just watched him. Mako really wanted nothing to do with him. He sat up there most of the time watching. When I went to go get in bed, he followed me, and he couldn't jump on the bed by himself.
Squid, come on. Come on. Come here. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Squid, come on. Come on. Come on, you can do it.
And it was the cutest thing. He had me wrapped. He had my heart. Got into bed and he curled up on my arm and purred and fell asleep, and I actually turned around away from him shortly after, and he got up and walked around my pillow to sleep on the others to be in front of me again. I think after like 30 minutes I heard him get up and he jumped down, tried to find food, would jump back up and sleep next to me. And then, as I said, in the morning he didn't get up. I didn't even know he was on my bed still. He was twitching, thought he was dreaming, and then I saw the drool and I was like, I need to wake him up. Woke him up and he twitched more. He couldn't walk. I thought it was maybe the rabies vaccine because Mako had a really bad reaction months ago to his, and I had to take Mako to the vet overnight. Try to give him Benadryl, he wouldn't take that. So this was at 7:30 and the vet didn't open till 9. I called the vet, I texted their emergency line, they didn't answer, so I just went and waited in the parking lot for 30 minutes. I should have given him charcoal first thing. I didn't know it was the ivermectin. I was assuming it was the rabies and it was an allergic reaction. They put him on IV. I'm not a vet, I don't know if there's more they could have done. I looked into lipid emulsion therapy or something like that. They didn't have any.
temperature dropped really low, and they're not an overnight vet, so he didn't have a heating pad to put him overnight. I thought he wasn't going to make it the first night. I thought maybe last night the call before they left was better. He was responding to people, and I thought last night I couldn't go to French Polynesia with him because his vaccines weren't up to date, or they weren't like your rabies vaccine has to be at least 6 months and 21 days old. So I was looking at doing the Western Caribbean, Bahamas. I was looking at postponing French Polynesia for him. I started to really look into it last night once I got the call that he was doing a little better. So yesterday morning I wasn't expecting that he was going to be here still. This morning I was ready to harness train him. He did not like it when I put the collar on him, but he adjusted very quickly. He just took he adjusted so well to everything. So I was really excited for him to have him. That's the story of Squid. His name is Squid because that first day when I found him, there were fishermen there, and there were boxes of squid laying around. Old, like maybe a day old squid. I opened the box for him, and he took a whole squid out and ran with it. No other names were coming to me. That's why I named him Squid. That's what's been going on for the past 7 to 10 days. I almost had 2 boys, but I don't. It's just Mako and I, and yeah, it's just you. Once I get the chain in, we're gonna be headed off and headed west. So that's the update, and a little sweet and sad stop here in Puerto Rico. Again, I don't know if the approach the vets took was enough. I'm not a vet. That's not my job to know, I guess. Personally, I don't feel like enough was done. I maybe should have taken him to a 24/7 clinic. I really don't know, but he was a good little kitten. He was adorable. So yeah, that's it. I was ready. Today I was about to hop on a call with my patrons and introduce him and change my whole plans. So thank you for listening to that if you did, and I hope you enjoyed the clips of him and got to see how special he was.